One of these words on this board has 28 separate meanings. And I'm going to put those meanings up, and you tell me which word it is. Back passage, vagina, penis, jobby...
Jollocks.
Jobby, you think? Jigger. We're getting a lot of jiggering from the audience. Ouija board.
It must be jigger.
Golf
I
club.
was jigger.
Jigger is the right answer. I'm going to share 5 points with Victoria and 5 points with the audience. Wow. The word jigger has all those definitions. It's a measuring device, a jigger of rum.
Yes.
A snooker rest, an odd-looking person, Bill. Sorry, I'm just an odd-looking person. A distillery.
Don't say vagina and then point to me.
Penis.
Again.
And... woman's coat. That's a nice... thingamy.
You see,
Door, pulley.
people do complain that there aren't any good words for vagina. There's no way of saying it that sounds nice. Jigger is not the answer.
I think twinkle cave.
Twinkle cave.
It's a less offensive term for a foo-foo.
So, sorry. So, jigger is back passage, vagina, penis...
Well, that's confusing
flea,
right there.
straight away.
Just stick it in a jigger. What?
Yeah.
We're going to have to be more specific.
Talking about jigger 1 or jigger 2?
It's also a golf club, so if you ask your caddy, do you think I should pull my jigger out for this shot? What do you think?
Yeah, get your jigger out, rest it on your jigger, stick it in my jigger, mind the jigger.
What about Ouija board? You're at a party and let's all put our fingers together on your jigger. It's moving. Is it doing that by itself, or are we making...
Potter's wheel. That was what they used to put on the TV when they ran out of programmes.
Yeah.
Just put the jigger on. Not that one!
Anyway.
A revolving jig. No.
Certain words do double duty, certain words do triple duty. Words like jigger seem to do... What does the word kangaroo mean in the Baganji Aboriginal language of New South Wales? Yes.
Skippy. I think I know.
Yes.
Unless it's apocryphal, it might be one of the obvious answers. I'm slightly nervous about saying it now.
Yes.
Say it.
Doesn't mean I don't know.
Oh! Oh, dear!
I've walked into it like a fool.
It is an apocryphal story that tell it.
Well, the story is that when sort of the first white settlers went over there, they sort of saw these enormous jumping things with little... They saw kangaroos, and they went, what's that? And they went, well, I know.
And in Baganji, I don't know, was kangaroo. Yes, that is a story that is put about...
Is that the proper accent?
Well...
Or is that your...
Sorry, it's my generic, I'm afraid, my generic original
Kangaroo
frequency.
there? Go on, do that again.
Kangaroo.
It sounds authentic.
Sound like a minicab driver.
No, I'll tell you the story. It's in a strange way, sort of less interesting, but being the truth, it's quite interesting. In Baganji, what it means is horse, because in 18th century Australia there were 700 Aboriginal tribes speaking 250 separate languages between them. Kangaroo comes from the Gugu Imithir language, spoken around Botany Bay and first heard by Europeans on Cook's expedition in 1770. Now, when the first English settlers arrived 18 years later, having learned the word kangaroo from these peoples, they arrived in a completely different part of Australia. Kangaroo, I beg your pardon. So wherever they went, they proudly used the word kangaroo to the locals, who, of course, had never heard the word before because they spoke a different language. So the locals, including the Baganji, thought that it must mean an animal we've never heard of. So when they first saw a horse, they thought, that must be what this strange word kangaroo is.
Here are some words of Scandinavian origin. To be more specific, they're of Norwegian origin, since the Danes would never use such stupid words. You can tell me what they mean. Have a look at some of these.
Crotching is obvious.
Yes, what is it?
Michael Jackson does.
Oh, yes, like a bit of a move, a crotching.
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh, God, I thought you were thinking of a very different thing.
You're thinking of flashbang.
Yeah,
I saw something the other day online I don't know if I can talk about this because
Yeah.
it's really dirty.
Darling,
Come on.
you've already gone down to Michael Jackson's crotch, haven't you?
No, it was these people who, they're kind of pranksters, I guess, and they literally lick toilets.
What?
What?
Yeah.
As a hobby, like a sort of niche hobby?
I guess they get lots of likes and views on YouTube and stuff like that.
Wow, I mean, I've been worrying about shaking hands, but...
And you think that's flush bunking?
Sounds like a whiff swiddle to me.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you that biff squiggled means confused. Flush bunking actually means making no sense. Whiff swiddle is something that happens or moves very fast. And all of these words were invented by one person. Who do we think that might be?
A Norwegian person.
Well, of Norwegian origin.
Is it a footballer?
No, it is...
I'm out.
It's for the BFG.
Oh, Roald Dahl.
It is Roald Dahl. His parents were Norwegian immigrants. Roald Dahl is actually a very interesting fellow. He was a spy, briefly. He was a spy for the sort of covert operation set up by MI6 to spy in the United States. But he used his spy experiences to write screenplays. He wrote 2 Ian Fleming screenplays. He wrote the James Bond film You Only Live Twice and Chitty Chitty Bang Bang as well.
Wow.
But he made up over 500 words in BFG. Scrumptiddly-yumptious.
Snozcumber?
Snozcumber.
Snozcumber, yes, which was?
It was like a kind of bitter cucumber.
Yeah, it was a black and white stripe.
With little knobbles on the outside. I wish James Bond had eaten one of those instead of having a martini.
Have a snozcumber, please.
Slice.
Yes, wouldn't mind. That is an incredible book. Published in 1982, it has sold over 40 million copies. And sells
Amazing.
another million every year. I know, right?
The BFG does.
Yeah, the BFG, yeah.
One of the dreams in one of the jars is that a book sells so well that even footballers on the pitch, that everyone in the world is reading the book. And it kind of is like that, isn't it? Everyone's read the BFG.
Not footballers.
Dahl, when he was buried, I love this, he was buried with his snooker cues, some very good burgundy, chocolates, HB pencils and a power saw, which I just think is...
What's he planning?
I don't know. What would you be buried with, Alan? What would, if you were to choose the bits and pieces?
I was just going to say my children.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dad of the Year.
Ladies should be covering your ears because you're very sensitive, I know. Can you name an Anglo-Saxon swear word?
I would say... I would...
We've covered all bases
in for
there.
a penny. Gobbler is Anglo-Saxon.
It's also a delightful, weirding bird. The amount of times Bill Oddie's gone after a knob gobbler.
He does spend a lot of time on Hampstead Heath, it's certainly true. That's where he comes from.
Ooh, look at the plumage on that knob gobbler. This isn't rude. It's a, it's a type of bird. You know, who wouldn't want to stroke a knob gobbler?
But no, you see, the fact is, we have no knowledge whatsoever of Anglo-Saxon swearing because the only Saxons we know of are those who wrote. And those who wrote were in holy orders and tended not to swear.
They must
But
have
we
been
have no
swear
evidence
words.
for them. But we do know that Vikings swore, because we actually know there's a particular word, and this is rasragar. It's such an appalling word that if one Viking called another Viking rasragar, the Viking who was called it would be entitled to kill the man who called him that. And indeed, if he didn't try and kill him, he would be expelled from the community, and indeed be proved to be a rasragar. I've been told what rasragar means, but I just cannot tell you.
Is it?
I just can't.
Is it rasragar?
Rasragar.
Is it to do with colouring?
I just can't. My
Russet
mind
beard or
has got
something,
the
or-
idea of it in its head, and I
He
will
must
never be
tell
the
us. What do
same
you
again.
think?
I don't know.
I think that we all want to know, right?
No. Anyway, the fact is there are no known Anglo-Saxon swear words in the sense that Anglo-Saxon peoples use them.
They've been coined over 1,000 new words, but not all of them caught on. Here are some of the ones that didn't. See if you can put them into a sentence for me. Sweltery, quatch.
Quatch. I've got a sweltery quatch at the moment.
Already we're there, aren't we?
It happened when I put my kicky wikis on. Cockleby function. I've always been near-legged.
You're a boggler in those
I
times.
boggle me Carlot.
You're Foxton. What weapon do cockled boggler?
Car-lot, that's a thing. That's where people sell
That's a sexy
second-hand
garage.
cars.
Yes, well, that's true, actually.
It's just well ahead of its
taken
time.
way ahead of its time.
Yeah.
A boggler is a very clumsy burglar.
Or it's a burglar that can't believe the stuff he's getting his hands on. Look at this DVD player.
Well, he used it to mean a hesitator, one who boggles. I don't know if that would try in boggling the mind.
What is a kicky wiki? Is that like a Russell Brand's version of a football or something?
It's an affectionate term for a wife. Oh, my dear Kicky Wiki.
A kicky wiki is not an affectionate term for a kicky.
Domestic violence is a lot more acceptable.
Oh, the old smashy washy. The old battery wattery. Punchy wunchy.
And a quatch. Or is it a quatch? It's actually an adjective, I think.
Fetch.
Quatch. Quatch means be a bit podgy, a bit quatch.
Oh, you're a bit quatchy.
Yeah. Sort of, yeah.
Luckily, I'm wearing a surgical truss.
Plump, shall we say. Whoppend, or wappened, is corrupt. That's never really caught on, is it? But look at the ones that did catch on. Here's just a small example of words that are first used in Shakespeare. Accessible, acutely assembled, barefaced, beguiling, critic, even-handed, eyeball, Frenchwoman, hunchbacked, neglected, overpower, promising, radiance, revealing, rose-cheeked, school-day sinonymous, three-legged.
French woman is a bit of a stretch. French woman. He invented it.
He invented taking the space out.
Yes, he may have done. Even-handed, bewitchment.
This is
symbol.
my wife. She is a thingamajig. I don't know. What can I call her? Oh, French woman. I think you'll call her. She's French woman. French woman.
Of course, you can't be absolutely certain he invented all these because there may have been in use before, but he is often the first printed source we have for them.
He presumably had to have a pretty good idea that people would understand what he was going on about.
Yes, exactly. Oh, I've done it again.
Oh, no.
You know, this bit of rough is not behaving. I've said that before. Oh, dear, oh, dear.
Who is the coolest, grooviest, hippest cat on the show tonight?
David Tennant, I would have thought.
Yeah. I'm going for Bell.
Yeah, could be. What do we know about these words?
They're jazz words.
Many of them are jazz words. And how old are they?
Since the 20s, 30s?
Early...
40s?
No, earlier. Stone Age.
Let's take the word cool. When did it first mean, like, fashionable, do you think?
60s beatnik poet era.
Hitler.
Oddly enough, it was the year Hitler came to power, 1933, but I don't think that's quite relevant.
These new uniforms are cool.
Bizarrely.
So this is Christmas.
I'm Jerry's in Nazi party. They're cool, Daddy.
Cool, Daddy-o.
Bizarrely, it was 1933.
Besides, I have no choice.
Yeah.
I burned down the Reichstag. Cool. Jazz Nazis, eh?
It was the West Coast School of... But it was the West
Jazz
Coast...
Nazis are used both ways.
It was the West Coast School of Relaxed Jazz led by Miles Davis, and his album The Birth of the Cool was 1957, which, oddly enough, is the year I was born.
Extraordinary.
So maybe I am cool.
Cool.
I love that if you saying all that as a chat-up line in a nightclub. Yeah. Do you know who the coolest person in the room is tonight? No, let me explain. 1933. Cut to 2 hours later,
so cool.
and that, madam, is why I am cool. Can I get to another move?
Where's she gone? Don't go.
Right. Is this the neck verse thing? Beautiful.
It's not worth losing your nuts for, though, is it?
Well, you might lose more than that. It is what we
About hanging.
It is about dying, certainly. It's known as the neck verse. Does anybody know why?
The neck verse is how a German doctor tells you have whiplash. I do know this.
Yes.
There used to be a thing called benefit of clergy, where if people could prove that they were in the clergy by reciting a verse of the Bible, then they were tried under ecclesiastical law instead of normal law, where they'd be more likely to get hung.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's brilliant. It's 1251 when it was known as the neck verse, and you had to be able to recite it in Latin. O God, have mercy upon me according to thine heartfelt mercifulness. And the benefit of the clergy, it existed for about 600 years, from about the 12th century to 1841. And some crimes, the clergy would get lesser sentences. And so it used to be you had to prove you were clergy. But over time, it was enough to prove you were literate, so obviously in Latin. And this created a loophole. So illiterate people could learn that verse by heart. And the courts were happy to go along with this. It's a legal fiction because there were many crimes which it was felt that the punishment was too harsh. So they would allow this fiction that you were a member of the clergy and therefore you could get away with it. In fact, Ben Jonson, the playwright, 1598, he avoided being hanged for killing an actor in a duel, an actor called Gabriel Spencer, by pleading benefit of clergy. So it's
I know a bit about Ben Jonson. He murdered someone that he acted in a play with. The play was called The Isle of Dogs, and it was so offensive that it was suppressed so completely nobody's ever worked out what it was about.
We don't even have a record of the script or anything.
And then you released it on DVD.
Alfred's game so much more successful than Alfred's other game. And that is Alfred, who is quite well... Yes, Scrabble is the answer. Alfred Butts his name.
And he sold out for bugger all.
Well, it was an interesting story. He had the idea of the board and the 15 by 15 squares and the triple letter and double word and so on. And he made them himself. And in the early 50s, it was around in the shops of New York and it was a great success. It just so happened the chap who ran Macy's, the famous department store, he played it one Christmas and he went nuts for it. Absolute nuts for it. And the following year, it sold 4 million. It was the fastest and biggest growing game in the history of that genre of games. It just completely went wild. And all he got, I say all, was about $1,600,000, Butts, the inventor. But he never complained about it. He said it's perfectly fine. It allowed me to have a wonderful life, and he was proud of it. But he then produced another game, which he called Alfred's Other Game. And that, unfortunately, wasn't a hit, despite the lady in the black busty dress. The principle of the scoring is pretty obvious. He used the frequency of letters in English. The highest possible score you could have from one word has been worked out. I wonder if you know what that word might be. It seems unlikely.
Well, it depends if you're heading. The highest I ever got was underpass on 2 triple word scores.
That's very good. I did Bezique once and got sort of 200.
Yes, you
200.
would do.
No, that was very much.
You would do underpass, though, wouldn't you?
Underpass is good.
All printed words.
Well, you've got to use all 7 because you get the plus 50.
Yes, you've got to get the 50. But the most irritating thing about playing Scrabble with people is when they use words that aren't in common usage, that are in... They just, back in the early of this year, they announced that GRRL is now a word, but it isn't.
No, it isn't. And I basically have my house rule, which is you can't use a word you don't know the meaning of. I just don't think it's fair.
No, I go even further.
Some people just learn lists of words.
Okay.
Well, why do it? Why put in a word that you
Do you let people have the list of 2-letter words on the show?
No. Joe is a classic case in point. I know it means love, but I never use the word Joe in conversation, therefore you can't have it. Or people who spell axe in the American way.
Without the E.
It's just no.
Do you know the most commonly played word in Scrabble?
Penis.
No.
It is in my house.
It's rather thrilling. No, not gay.
It's a good word.
It's a fine word.
7.
Even more
7 points.
QI, thank you very much. Key is the most commonly played word in Scrabble. Because it's a Q that doesn't need a U, and you can just put it next to an I, and if it's on a triple letter, you're immediately scoring
yes, but
well.
it's not.
It's the Chinese for the life force, as you know. Well, if you could possibly play the word, and obviously it would involve intersecting with many other words because it's longer than 7 letters, if you could get oxyphenylbutazone, there is a technical potential score of 1,178.
Just for playing that.
And I bet you have. I bet you've done it.
I've never played it.
Is this called my bluff? Or
No.
Can I just point out, right? I'm
highest-
dyslexic. I've never played Scrabble. To me, playing Scrabble is essentially like decorating a bathroom.
Oh,
Finished.
What's the French for innuendo?
Is it double entendre? Now, just remember that double entendre is French for big tits, isn't it?
The double entendre means nothing to a Frenchman. You could say double entente. Entente is like a...
Two-man tent.
Good. Or double sens, double sense, but they don't say double entendre.
So it's a French phrase that the French don't use. So it's not French.
Exactly. And that's precisely what this round of questions is about. There are other examples of that. Suppose you're at a performance, someone is very brilliant, and you want them to perform again.
Encore.
You'd shout encore. What would they shout in France?
More.
Good thought. But encore is a French word meaning more, but they don't shout encore when they want. They shout a Latin word, which means twice.
Anyone?
Anyone in the audience? Bis, bis, B-I-S.
Beef.
Beef, yeah, that's what they shout.
That's crap.
Try encore.
You need to do a show, wouldn't you? And at the end, everyone goes, beef! It's like that.
Well, there are other phrases which we use, which sound French, but again mean nothing to a Frenchman. Cause célèbre is not a French phrase. Like ensuite for a bathroom, the French wouldn't. They go, what?
Yeah. What about bidet?
Bidet they do indeed have, though it's easier really to do a handstand in the shower, to be honest. And if you want the expense of a bidet, yes.
Easier.
If you're as nimble as I am, yeah.
I'd pay good money to see that. I'd like to see you doing that with a camera going, tweet this.
The trouble is with the handstand in the shower, though, it's like, you know when you see a mountain stream and you think the water looks all right, but I don't know where it's been further on. When you're upside down and this water is pouring across your face, lodging in your nostrils, and you know that it's been...
That's a worry.
That's what puts... I had a friend who, he had read somewhere that if you slept upside down, it made you more intelligent because the blood went to your brain.
Yeah.
And I became obsessed with the idea that he would have a wet dream and die.
Oh, that's so, in so many ways, a horrific image. So, yes, there are words we use. Décolletage, for example, we use for that. The French has used décolleté for that, not décolletage.
Excuse me, when you say we, you mean you?
Well, it's not a common phrase, but
No, it's not. No, let me say, look at the décolletage on that.
Could you put...
You never stop learning. I've already learned how to say to my teenage sons, look at the knockers on that, without the mum getting annoyed.
And now you can say décolletage.
Décolletage, look
I
at
thought it too. Also, ensuite, which is used commonly these days for a bathroom that's connected to a bedroom. In France, they don't use the phrase
And, of course,
ensuite.
the ensuite.
Exactly. The French do not.
Commonly used.
There's a Greek phrase. The Greeks say katatraya staeftika, I think it is. And it means who gives a shit.
No.
But literally it means there is trouble in the gypsy village. It's true. And depending on where up you are on the social calendar, it's right, isn't it? It's, you know, posh people wouldn't give a shit if they...
Anyway, that's the point. You can ask a Frenchman for a double entendre if you like, but you'll be lucky if he gives you one. Now to some... Thank you very much. Remember who wrote the first dictionary in English?
Oh, yes. Johnson.
Samuel Johnson.
Samuel Johnson?
Oh.
It wasn't Samuel Johnson.
I
led you down the garden path.
Baldrick.
Banked you. Baldrick.
B.
Probably a B, yes.
Very good. We're going to have to write the whole dictionary tonight.
Dr. Johnson's dictionary, which was written in the earlier part of the 18th century, was preceded by... Well, there was...
Famously, the first
There were
dictionary.
lots, weren't there?
There was a Richard Mulcaster in the 16th century who came up with the name football, in fact, and indeed invented refereeing and the idea of football teams. But he wrote Elementary in 1582. He was the first to gather all the words which we use in our English tongue out of all professions, as well learned as not, into one dictionary. But he didn't give definitions. He just listed all the words that he thought they existed. But in Robert Corddry's Table Alphabetical of 1604, not only listed words, but gave definitions, so it was perhaps the first true dictionary in the sense that we know it. It listed around 3,000 hard words, as he called them, defining each one. So then Johnson's dictionary had how many entries? Around the time there were about 250,000 or 300,000 words. How many did he list?
42.
So, you were so close, 42,000. That was really close. 42,773. But we've got some Johnson words that have gone out of use, and maybe you can mention what they mean. Tongue pad.
Mouth friend.
Mouth friend. Don't we all need a mouth friend?
Sometimes we certainly do need a tongue pad and a mouth.
Sometimes I like a frigorific. I hear you, Bill.
Frigorific.
Yeah. We've all been frigorific in our time. A double latte is, I
That's
think
a
it's
coffee.
single shot,
you
isn't
can
it?
get those in... yeah, just after.
It's depucillate.
Oh, that's what you do before a big date, isn't it? Yeah.
If you're meeting a mouth friend.
Yes.
You get a bit tongue pad. It's going to be old Shakespeare.
Is a shapesmith just a rubbish blacksmith?
No, a shapesmith is basically what we...
I've done a thing. You've been to the shapesmith? Yeah. Sort of looks like a doorknob.
Yeah, it's not a horseshoe, but it's horse jewellery.
Like a horse clog.
Nipple clamp. They found in Camden Market and sold all that crap.
No, a shapesmith is actually what we would call a personal trainer. It's someone who gets you into shape and improves the shape of your body. It's
Time
a
for that word to come back. I think.
Shapesmith, exactly.
I'm going to see my shapesmith.
My shapesmith. A tongue pad.
I hate that.
A tongue pad is just a great talker who just gives someone who just natters all the time. A mouth friend is... No, someone who is a friend to your face but is duplicitous behind your back.
Oh, God, I know a few of those.
Yeah, a few mouth friends. Pretends to be your friend. To depucillate is to deflower, to bereave of virginity.
It's not a bereave.
To pluck the...
Let's not see it as that. Frigorific sounds like something Del Boy might say, but what is it?
Actually, I suppose we would... It's probably rather badly spelled. We should pronounce it, yes, cold. Should pronounce it frigorific, probably. It just means causing cold. Something it's frigorific. Causes cold. So, some of his definitions were just a little bit lazy. Sock. Something put between the foot and the shoe.
He must have thought, though, because, you know, previously the one before you say had been just of hard words. He must have just thought, look, everyone knows what a sock is.
If you can read, you'll know what a sock is.
Yeah, if you've got this book and you don't know what a sock is, then I can't help you.
Exactly. Oats was a famous one.
Well, yes, he said horrible things about the Scots in his one on oats, didn't he?
He did. He said a grain which in England is generally given to horses, but in Scotland supports the people. He describes to Worm to deprive a dog of something, nobody knows what, under his tongue, which is said to prevent him, nobody knows why, from running mad. It's just a very strange...
Wasn't a scientist, then?
No, I think probably not. He was one of our greatest men of letters.